We're entering year 2 for one of the best Nebraska football recruiting classes we've seen in some time, the 2024 cycle. And all the hype is around the true sophomores, the Dylan Rheules of the world, Ja'Cory Barney, Vincent Shavers, and so much more. But nobody is really talking about the redshirt freshmen going into their second campaign. So in today's video, I'm going to go over the 8 redshirt freshmen that I expect to break out this summer and play meaningful snaps, whether that's in the 2 deep or even start for the Big Red next year. So really quick, we have a lot to get into, jam-packed video. Hit that like button if you're fired up. And also, if you support what I'm doing here, daily Husker football content all off-season long, videos just like this, please hit that subscribe button. It helps me out more than you would know. Once again, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. But without further ado, let's get into it, going over the 8 Nebraska football redshirt freshman breakout players that I expect to play a lot of meaningful snaps this year and just take it to a different level over the next couple months. So right off the bat, the criteria for this video is very simple. You have got to redshirt in 2024, so we're not going to be talking about the Ja'Cory Barneys, the Dylan Rheules, the Willis McGahees, and a couple other guys. We're particularly talking about the guys who played in 4 or less games in 2024. So let's just get things started with the first breakout player that I expect for Nebraska this season. He's in the secondary out of Miami, Florida. This is Amari Sanders. Now, Amari Sanders played in 5 games for the Huskers last season. He played 4 in the regular season, 1 in the Pinstripe Bowl, so he still has his red shirt on him. And Amari Sanders, man, he impressed the coaching staff a lot. Obviously, you love the length list at 6'1". He has very long arms. And the thing I like most about Amari Sanders' game is he's very handsy, right? He's trying to poke the ball free at all times. He uses his hands well to Golden Gate interceptions when he was in high school. And he has pretty good speed on him as well. You know, it's nice to have that height. Sometimes guys who are, taller corners, they don't have great speed and acceleration. He does as well. So I really like Amari Sanders. I like his positional flexibility. You can put him at boundary corner. You can put him at nickel. I honestly like him at safety as well. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this corner battle all spring and summer long. This is somebody who I absolutely expect to play very, very well and be in that 2 deep for the Big Red. I know the coaching staff loves him, but he's going to get on the field a lot this year. So Amari Sanders, that's the first guy that I want to talk about because, man, he has been balling out. The coaching staff always talks about him. So he is the first guy that we absolutely have to mention. Now let's go to the offense on somebody that people really aren't talking about, but I expect him to have a big spring practice. And this is Makai Nelson going into his second year coming out of Pennsylvania. Now, we added this guy in July of last year. It was kind of an under-the-radar move. I made a video about it at that time. And, everybody was kind of brushing it aside. Like, oh, whatever, we're not another guy. It doesn't really mean anything. But Makai Nelson played very well at the last stretch of last year. He played really well in bowl practice, according to the coaching staff, and they expect him to take a big jump going into spring ball. He's a guy who's 6 foot tall. He's up to about 190, 195 at this point in time. And, he's just kind of a do-it-all guy. He can go up and get passes. He can block. He's pretty speedy. Not a track star, but he has speed. But he's also a bruiser, man. He can lower the shoulder a little bit. So Nebraska, they'll have a big battle on who's going to be that running back 2. Is it going to be Quinn Ives? Is it going to be Makai Nelson? Is it going to be a Jamarian Parker? Makai Nelson, man, do not sleep on this guy because the coaching staff, they really, really like him and they like his ability to just do just about everything. He's a complete running back. He's tough. He's coming out of the East Coast. They like those East Coast backs. Let's see what he can do, but I expect him to take a big jump. He's going to play a lot this year alongside some of these other backs in that room. So that is Makai Nelson. Let's go to the trenches here with my favorite redshirt freshman for Nebraska on that offensive line. No, it is not a Grant Bricks. It's not a Gibson Pyle. It's Preston Tomoa. Now, you guys know how I feel about Preston Tomoa. I think this guy's an absolute baller. The coaching staff loves him. They said about a month ago that Preston Tomoa, he just put on a bunch of really, really good weight throughout last season. That, right now he kind of got rid of some of the bad fat that he came with, and now he's incredibly muscular. And he's just a guard through and through. You feel comfortable putting him at left and right guard. He could probably play center for you. In my opinion, he's the best pass pro redshirt freshman offensive lineman we have on the team. That's something that I don't love about Grant Bricks. Is when I was looking over Grant Bricks coming out of Iowa, he was terrible in pass pro because they never passed the football at his high school team. So he's continuing to learn that technique. Preston Tomoa, so gifted in the pass pro, great footwork, great hands, and is also just a pancake machine in the running game. So I expect Preston Tomoa not only to be in the 2 deep, I expect Preston Tomoa to potentially start for the Huskers. It just depends on how good of a fall ball he has. But, man, he's going to really, really shine for the Huskers this year. Feel really good about him coming out of Hawaii. Let's go to the fourth player here. Another guy that people just don't talk about. This is Jordan O'Shao. Now, he only played in one game last year, but that was the bowl game. And that opened a lot of eyes on how well he's been playing recently. He really came on well at the end of last year. Again, learned the playbook, got his body right. When Nebraska added him at the very last second in last year's class, I think he was a walk-on. Don't quote me on that. But obviously not a walk-on anymore. Super athletic. He's 6'4", about 260 at this point in time, so he's gained a couple pounds. Again, fast off the line of scrimmage, nice swim move to get to the quarterback. Again, it's going to be an open battle in this D-line room. This is a sneaky name who I could absolutely see being the two deep. I could see him beat out a couple notable guys. I won't say their names, but I think Jordan O'Shao, man, the coaching staff really likes him. They like his athletic ability. You can put him at jack too. He's not just a 3 technique. You can feel comfortable putting him at jack. So really like him and his pass rush ability. Probably needs to improve his run stopping, but like this player, and he played well in the bowl game. Really shined against Boston College. Let's go to number 5, back to the secondary. You know how I feel about Larry Tarver. Got to put him on here. You want a true man-to-man corner, a true boundary corner, a guy with swagger, a guy who can lock down, any team's number 1, a guy with freak quickness and speed. That's Larry Tarver. We need a guy like Larry Tarver to absolutely shine for the Huskers. In my opinion, it's just all about, can he continue to learn the playbook at a high level? Can he continue to commit himself to the team? Can he do everything right from Mondays to Fridays? If he can do that, he's going to shine on Saturdays. I see no reason why Larry Tarver can't break out this year. Listen, Larry Tarver, if we talk about just natural athleticism and natural raw potential, I'd say he has as much upside as anybody on the team. I think it's NFL written all over him, but we got to see it this year from Mr. Larry Tarver because, from everything we heard, and I was telling you guys last spring practice and last fall practice, this was the guy we kept hearing things about. It wasn't Amari Sanders. It wasn't a Donovan Jones, who we'll talk about in the next coming up. It was Larry Tarver. Larry Tarver was always impressing the coaching staff. We got to see it this time on the field, but I really like Larry Tarver and his athletic upside. True man-to-man boundary corner. Donovan Jones, I promised him. Let's talk about him. So this is a guy who, again, only played in one game last season. Well, played notable snaps only one game, and that was against Boston College in the Pinstripe Bowl. Shocked a lot of people. I like Donovan Jones, man. You know what I like about him? He's an Omaha North boy. You guys know how those guys are. They're tough, incredibly tough. Great tacklers. They're physical. That's what you get with Donovan Jones. He can play corner. He can play nickel. I like him at safety. I think that's where his future is as a strong safety, maybe even a free safety for the Big Red. So, and he can also play rover. So you like the utility knife potential there from Donovan Jones. You like his physicality. Not the most freak athlete in the world. Doesn't need to be, but again, incredibly physical, a guy who really prides himself in his tackling. He's big. He's about 200 pounds, being 6'1". It's a great weight for his size. And again, I expect him to take a big jump. I don't think it's going to be at corner. I think he will play at safety this year. Probably alongside Deshaun Singleton. I could see him start. I really could. But like Donovan Jones a lot, he's going to take a big jump. Like his toughness a lot. 2 more guys here. Now, I kind of cheated with these last 2. We're talking about transfers that Nebraska's brought in. So guys who weren't here last year, but they're technically redshirt freshmen. First one I want to talk about is Marcos Davila. Now, I've been hyping up Marcos Davila since he got here. 6'3", 240 pounds. He's a big, thicker built quarterback, but man, strong arm out of Texas. I think he's a smart quarterback. Talking to Purdue fans, talking to people who knew him in Texas high school football, he's a very hard worker. He's committed to the game. I think he's come here with the right mindset. Like he's not coming here to be a backup. And you don't want your backup to have that mindset like, I'm just going to sit on the bench. You want your backup to compete to start. That's what Marcos Davila is doing, man. I think he's going to press a lot of people throughout spring practice. He's going to be our quarterback too. I feel very confident in saying that. No question about it. He will be our quarterback too. And I think when he does get in the game, God forbid Dylan Rhule gets hurt, Marcos Davila is going to shine. And there might, I don't want to say this, but I think there might be, a potential for, maybe Dylan gets out of the game for whatever, freak injury. Marcos Davila comes in and Marcos Davila doesn't give it back. I know that might sound crazy, but I really like Marcos Davila in this game. And I think he fits this Deion Holgorsen offense very well. Holgorsen's familiar with him. When he was at Houston, he was recruiting Marcos Davila. So Holgorsen, this is the guy that he wanted to bring in. I'm just saying, he fits this offense. Give me some Marcos Davila stock. I'm buying all of it. One more guy is Williams Nwaneri, transfer from Mizzou, 5-star recruit. Listen, we all know the potential with him, obviously, athletic freak, great swim move, great pass rusher. I don't care about any of that. I care about Williams Nwaneri from, again, Mondays to Fridays, putting in the work, committing to the team, committing to the coaching staff, learning the playbook, showing up on time, And if he can do all of that, there's no reason this guy can't be a successful player. Also, he needs to put on weight. He needs to put on a lot more weight. He's about 260 right now. He needs to be 280, maybe 285. So he needs to continue to put on weight. The coaching staff liked him a lot. Jamar Mosey liked him a lot. I like him a lot. I'm not worried about what he can do on the field. I'm worried about what he does off the field. And if he's really going to lock in, because that was always the concern with Mizzou fans last year. Like, does he really want to be here? The answer was he didn't want to be there. Well, hopefully he wants to be in Lincoln, and he really shows that. So that is a guy who I expect to break out, but only if he does all the things right off the field throughout spring and summer. So, all right, guys, those are my 8 players who are redshirt freshmen. There's a couple other guys who are redshirt freshmen who I expect to play well, but those are the 8 that I really sat down and I said, these are the guys who I really expect. Not to dog on the other, redshirt freshmen, but these 8 I'm really locked in on. I think they're going to play well. I think they're going to be guys who compete for that 2 deep, are going to play a lot this year, so definitely know their names. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. Is there a player that I didn't mention who you are very high on? Let me know in the comment section. Hey, if you made this far in the video, you know what to do. Hit that like button and subscribe. As always, folks, go grab, go home at Rhule. See you in the next one.